Alright, trade recap today for February 3rd. Ended up passing the eval. If you watched the video yesterday, I got break even on that trade, but I actually re-entered, and I will show y'all the re-entry real quick. And then today, so halfway past yesterday and then halfway past it today, because the combine's already passed, this has just put me on a previously failed combine, but you can see email 11 minutes ago that you passed. So halfway past it today on this trade right here. We'll go over what I saw in the market today. And dude, this hourly candle's that's a crazy sell-off. But coming into this morning, we had this high up here on NQ that I potentially wanted to target, and we also had this 4-hour fair value gap. So that's pretty much it. Then zooming into the 1 hour chart, we were kind of chopped on the 1 hour time frame, but had these lows. You could call them low resistance lows, stacked before this 4-hour fair value gap. This is basically, this could be your market maker sell model. Boom, it's confirmed once we displace on the 5-minute right here. Once the 5-minute breaks structure and has the market structure shift here, yeah. Once the 5-minute break structure, this is confirmed in my opinion. I was waiting on the 5-minute, 15-minute charts, just waiting for displacement. And so once the 5-minute broke structure, like I said, the low was basically confirmed. I thought there was potential to come up and tap this 15-minute, this small 15-minute before selling off, but we didn't do that. Where's the market open candle? This is the market open candle. The next candle just immediately sells off. We continue to sell off. The 5-minute closes. And at this point in time, I'm like, okay, this draw is confirmed. And by the way that the market has opened up, it looks like we're just going to sell off right to it. So with that being said, I wanted to play a big stop above the market open highs here, because this move tells me that we're not likely going to touch this 15-minute before coming down, because we're already so far down in the range, right? So I just wanted to play a big stop above this opening this opening candle high. Waited for a pullback in order to get a 1-to-1, and then just market ordered, and we ended up selling off exactly like I expected. There was no 1-minute gaps to really execute on, so I was just playing a retracement and really playing off of the first 5-minute candle close. And the reason I'm able to do that is because I have confidence in this strong liquidity, because this is the market maker sell model, and it's confirmed once we break structure. So, at this point in time, like, where else are we going to go? Where else are we going to go? That's just my thought process behind it. And so, slapped on enough risk to halfway pass the other half of that eval, and so back on the XFA to starting tomorrow. So this is the road to getting a payout. Yeah, I'm happy with how I executed on this trade. Going back to yesterday, it was actually right here. Dude, we are selling off. Going back to the trade from yesterday, I think it was to this high here coming out of this 15-minute that I got break evened on with the recap yesterday. Let's see. Yeah, this is what I got break evened on yesterday. Or let me get the long. It was a big stop, something like this, and then once we came up and failed to take this internal high, we formed an SMT and I went break even. Well, we came back down into the 15-minute and continued to hold it, and then we eventually got very nice 5-minute candle closes. Boom, boom, boom. I think I entered right here. Stop below this low. And once again, like, this is only a trade I'm taking being on an eval and trying to get it passed. Thankfully, it worked out. But this is never something that I would take on an XFA or a live account or whatever. This was also later into the market, which is definitely not something I want to be doing. But I was just playing off of the higher time frames and letting the higher time frame bias guide me to these hourly highs here. There was an SMT with ES, but after getting these reactions out of this 15-minute, that likely tells me that we're still going to come up and at least take this hourly high on NQ. So that's why I re-entered the trade there. And then after we got this 15-minute candle close here, you can see the 15-minute then closes this candle up here. In my mind, there was no doubt that I was at least going to get break even on the trade because I wouldn't break even at the internal high. It did scare me a little bit. I was sitting in class, and for some, I don't know why we had this. It just took a while. We had a big retracement here, but nevertheless, ended up coming up and taking this high. And that's the thing with taking trades later into the market, is that they're going to play out very, very slow, and that's why I don't. And the volatility is just going to be a lot lower. That's why you have to kind of zoom out, and you cannot be on the 1-minute chart that late into the market. But yeah, that's how I the two trades that passed the eval. So back on the XFA, and just got to stick to my rules, and nothing changes. And just got to trade and not worry about the P&L. Just trade, just focus on taking good trades and following my rules, and then everything else is going to fall into place. But this is definitely something that this is definitely a trade that I would have taken on an XFA. I had a lot of confidence. Let me just go back. I don't want to redraw all that out. But had a lot of confidence, like I already broke down, in the draw on liquidity. Holy. Yeah. Had a lot of confidence in this draw on liquidity. So 5-minute market structure shift, displacement confirms it to me, and I was willing to play a big stop because, like I said, the way this market opened volatility, the way this sold off here, I'm expecting this to get taken very quickly, and that's why I just entered off of a you could say I don't know, there just wasn't a fair value gap here, but that's the trade recap. So, yeah, man, we will see what happens the rest of the week. And like I said, just focusing on taking good trades and following my rules. And that's really all trading's about. So, hopefully you're able to catch part of this move this morning. And we are just continuing to sell. Where are we going? I mean, could just be rebalancing to the 4-hour, but in general, I think, dude, in general, like daily time frame wise, weekly time frame wise, I think all of these stacked lows are just going to get taken. I think we see a decent sell-off within the equities. We've just been consolidating since October. I think we do see a decent sell-off at some point in time. But besides the point, that's the trade recap for today. Appreciate y'all watching, and I will see y'all tomorrow in the market recap. Peace.